I have this Bible verse on my wall in my room. I'm going to put the picture because I actually forgot the verse and I don't feel like going towards my room just to find it. But there's this verse about about the Lord being your joy. And there's been this recurring clip of Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell from the 2819 church that I think like it's pulled up on my algorithm a few times, I think. And then I think Jackie Hill Perry said something about it. And it's about how, like, if you can't just find joy in God, you're probably never going to find joy in anything else, not pure joy. You should have pure joy just in the God who sent his only son to the cross for our sins. Like, and I found that perspective very interesting. And maybe you can relate. Maybe you're in a season right now where you're like, if I don't get this thing, I cannot be joyful. And up until very recently, I felt the same way. I thought the same way. And I'm ashamed to even like think of the fact that I thought the same way. But up until recently, maybe a few months ago, I thought that if I don't have a successful YouTube channel, I can't be happy. Until I realized that this is why where your identity lies is so important. Because how dare I have this dude called God who sent his only son to the cross for my sins, despite me sinning daily multiple times a day, and say that I need YouTube to be happy. Like, that's so crazy. I mean, yeah, we really need as Christians to find a way to be joyful in God's presence. And to always, this is a very important question. Where does your identity lie? Is your identity in food? Is your identity in drugs? Is your identity in sex? Is your identity in that YouTube channel, in that book, in that idea, in that, like, where does your identity lie? That is so important, because where your identity lies will literally direct your mood, your emotions, your feelings, your joy, all the things. And for me, for as long as YouTube was my source of joy, I was sad. Because YouTube is such a performative thing. It's such an up and down type of thing. One video will have 300 views and then the next will do 15. One video will have 40,000 views and the next will have 1,000. It's so up and down. Why would I put my identity in that? But as I have been trying, and it's still a process. It's still a process. I don't have it perfectly put together. But as I've been trying to shift my joy towards God's presence, I have felt clarity. I'm not even going to say that I felt more joy, because I'm not dependent anymore on this performance-based thing to be happy. If God tells me you can't do YouTube anymore tomorrow morning, I can be happy. There's other things that make me happy. So yeah, we really need to just find joy in the Creator who made us, who sent his only son on the cross. That should be enough to be like, God, I just like to be in your presence. I just enjoy being in your presence. I enjoy praying. I enjoy worshiping. I enjoy reading the Bible. To just be in the presence of the person who did the greatest act of love ever known to humanity should bring me joy. You know? To anyone who hasn't been feeling joy because they don't have that thing that you've been praying for, really, really talk to God, pray to God and say, God, would you change the position of my heart where my source of joy is no longer that thing, no longer that channel, no longer the money, no longer that person, no longer that relationship, no longer that job, no longer my status, no longer these things, but that the position of my heart would be, I find joy in the Lord. That's why I can fast for 3 days and just spend time with God, because I like being in his presence. And if I don't have these things, if I lose the channel, if I lose some money, I'm still going to be joyful because God, you're still there. And ultimately, not the last, but the person I'm going to have to account all that I've done to is not the money, not the channel, not the sponsors, but it's you, Lord. And the ultimate goal is for you to say, you good and faithful servant. This is my daughter and or my son with whom I'm pleased. The last thing I want you to say to me is, depart from me, I never knew you. And so we need to wake up every day with the goal of God not saying that to us and saying, God, what are you calling me to do today? How can I be grateful despite my season of darkness? You know? Yeah. Yeah.